But when you put that to the forefront and with issue, now issue gets pushed to the back and everybody just talking about the mental health aspect. Bruh, I won't let that happen. I won't let the Seattle the Seahawks, I won't let the police department.
I'll tell you that this is a first for me because as Davis was walking out of the Turner Guilford Night Center, he had 3 corrections officers surrounding him, not really allowing reporters to get close to him to ask him questions. That said, I did ask those questions as to his allegations. He is accused of striking his ex-girlfriend, the mother of his children. I asked him about those charges.
Shannon Sharpe has broken in silence on Gervonta Davis's arrest over the weekend. And while he didn't leave Gervonta blameless, he opened the eyes of many to the bigger picture. Gervonta has to ensure he puts an end to all of these. No one wants to make moves that they'll keep regretting years down the line. The football legend on his podcast acknowledged that Gervonta Davis has been released. But while many are still left in the dark regarding the terms of his release and what his punishment would be, Shannon Sharpe took us back to the cause of the arrest. And I'm talking from experience now, I think he needs help. There seems to be an agenda against a specific race of athletes, and the agenda is simply to bring them down.
Kind of breaking news yesterday, man, with Gervonta Davis getting locked up, domestic violence. How do you feel about that?
He's a scumbag. He's a scumbag. You don't ever raise your hand to a woman. Ever.
Absolutely.
I don't care who you are, what you've done, you can shove your world titles up your ass. You never lay hands on a woman.
Absolutely.
Scumbag. He's a little...
Fans could easily sense that Shannon Sharpe had been speaking from a point of pain and personal experience. But while many seemed to understand his point, others felt he was supporting Tank's misbehavior. This is your way of saying you guys can keep messing up as you wish while messing up other people's lives, a fan said. Another added, this doesn't vindicate you in any way. With Gervonta, he's repeated it over and over. Every judgment against him is justified. A third wrote, I wish Gervonta well, but this is nothing about any race. It's a problem y'all that do it must deal with.
News came through, Gervonta Davis arrested in Miami. Allegations of domestic abuse. These allegations.
Well, it's not breaking news. It's not breaking news. Young black athletes are getting charged at an all-time high. I want to see when is the other race. I want to see more. I want to see more. I want to see more. I want to see more magnifying.
You are not saying this is this a race thing?
No, it's not.
On July 8th, 2025, Gervonta Davis was seen departing Broward County Jail. Wearing all black, the 29-year-old boxer had his face shielded with a hoodie and mask. He didn't answer any questions from nearby individuals or journalists. Officers escorted Davis out and swiftly departed the scene in a vehicle waiting nearby. This moment has now spread widely on social networking. The incident occurred on June 15th, when Davis allegedly struck the woman, whom he shares 2 children, on the back of the head and also slapped her in the face while she was removing the children from the back of Davis's car.
Gervonta Davis get in some trouble. What advice would you have for someone like Tank Davis?
Man, I don't know what's going on with him and his personal life. You know, that's on him. You know, I'm minding the business that pays me. That's my business.
Well, Terrence, thank you so much for your time as always on AFL TV. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
The victim had a cut on her inner lip as a result of this, and her mother, who appeared on the scene after she received a distraught text message from her daughter, had a phone recording where Davis could reportedly be seen throwing an object at his ex-girlfriend. Davis was released on bail on Friday morning, and videos of him leaving the jail where he was being held have since gone viral on social media. This has put serious question marks over Davis's boxing future, including his rematch against Lamont Roach. Davis and Roach fought out a controversial majority draw in March, where Tank took a deliberate knee, but it wasn't counted as a knockdown.
You know, unfortunately, Tank, he was arrested today. He has some personal incident. My question for you is the impact to his career. You know, he's had these roller coasters, these ups and downs, and you know, he's a star. What do you think about it?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, Tank, I've been saying he needs therapy. That's all I said. Everybody want to get mad at me.
The pair has a scheduled rematch for August 16th. However, there is speculation whether the fight would go ahead at all following Davis's run-in with the law. Lamont Roach Jr. has now confirmed the status of the fight, claiming Davis is already out of jail and the clash will go ahead as planned. Speaking on his stream, the Reaper said, I heard Buddy is home already. So for all of you people that keep talking that we're not fighting, this and that, I just want to let you know that the fight is still on. The fight is still scheduled for August 16th. We're just waiting on the announcement.
For battery, domestic violence. Put your hands behind your back. You got handcuffs?
Hey,
Roach previously reacted to Gervonta Davis's arrest, claiming that he hoped Tank didn't actually do what has been alleged, as he doesn't wish anyone jail time. Davis, meanwhile, continues to make the headlines for the wrong reasons. His performance against Roach in the first fight was heavily scrutinized, with some claiming Tank wasn't motivated and didn't take the fight seriously. Roach, though, put on a superb display. With all the recent happenings, one might question Davis's headspace heading into the rematch if it actually goes down on August 16th. This isn't the first time Davis has been connected to such case, as he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman, presumably the same woman as this most recent incident, with a closed-hand type slap in December 2022. However, these charges were ultimately dropped because the woman involved declined to press charges against Davis.
One guy who's been vocal trying to talk to you about some things, Tank Davis, he got arrested. I mean, any thoughts on that one?
He did, huh? Again?
Yeah, again.
Hey, look, I actually like Tank Davis. He's a good, he's a good kid. He's a good fighter, a great fighter, actually. He's one of my favorites. Just get your together, man. That's it, basically. Get your shit. You don't hit women, man.
It seems that members of the boxing community are fed up with Davis's actions. This was shown by comments that the legendary Oscar De La Hoya made when he was asked about Tank's most recent arrest by Fight Hub TV on July 12th. He did, huh? Again? De La Hoya said when told about Davis's arrest. Look, I actually like Tank Davis. He's a good kid. He's a good fighter. A great fighter, actually. He's one of my favorites. Just get your stuff together, man. That's it. You don't hit women, man, he added. It's a sensitive topic, and if he is found guilty, Davis' career could be in a serious jeopardy. Devin Haney's father, Bill Haney, though, has defended Tank in a recent interview. He told Radio Raheem,
Gervonta Davis is accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend in Doral.
And this is not the first run-in with the law. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live outside of the jail in West Miami-Dade.
And I know you have some details on this latest arrest for the boxer, Roy.
Christy Inalek says the charge he is facing is battery.
It's not breaking news. Young black athletes are getting charged at an all-time high. I want to see win the other race. I want to see more magnifying. It's not a Gervonta Davis thing. It's not a Bill Haney thing. It's a thing that's happening in the fabric of the family right now. Families need to unite and join, and they need to see their stars are at home and not on television. Bill Haney added, I hope and I wish Gervonta Davis and his baby moms, I wish them well, and I hope that they can get whatever they need and get Gervonta back to the superstar that he is. Gervonta Davis's arrest has put his rematch against Lamont Roach in doubt.
Yeah, I'm good. That's how it is, right? But you stole the show. Talk to me about that performance. We didn't even think you were gonna get the title shot so quickly. Now it's coming. How excited are you about that?
Man, I'm super excited. It's something different. It's in terms of the turning point in my career. But everybody's career is different. But this is an exciting something that people I feel like it's something that people would love to watch. Things as they unfold in my career. So.
Definitely. Now, today, Gervonta Davis was arrested. He's the champion in your division. What do you think about? What's your reaction to that?
I don't know about that. I don't know Tank.
Their controversial first fight went down in March, where Davis retained his WBA lightweight title through a majority draw. The second fight looks set for August 16th, which Roach has claimed will still go ahead. As for Shannon Sharpe, he has been facing similar issues as well. The first court hearing in the Shannon Sharpe rape lawsuit ended with a disappointed judge because the woman who filed the complaint didn't bother to show up. According to KLAS in Las Vegas, no attorney showed up on behalf of the unidentified plaintiff during the hearing. Clark County District Court Judge Anna Albertson reportedly expressed disappointment that the plaintiff had no legal representation at the start of the hearing.
I received a letter for a guy like Shannon Sharpe and has arguably one of the most popular podcasts. I would say you may want to keep those personal texts to yourself, and there may be an incentive to try to make this go away, buddy. I don't know if you really want to defend yourself by putting these texts out there. There's two ways to look at everything, and so
Sharpe, who was not in Vegas, was represented by attorney Robert DeMarco. Sharpe's attorney, therefore, requested that the judge review the progress of the case and extend it by 45 days. The judge granted the extension, and the next hearing will be on September 3rd. Legal analysts wondered aloud if this was part of the accuser's strategy. Whether to set up a settlement conference or to set hearings for litigation, you'd expect all parties to be present. Attorney Robert Draskevich told KLAS TV, "I can't see a tactical advantage to be gained by failing to appear."
Sexual, and parts of it were consensual, but she says during their relationship, because he was physically stronger, a lot older than her, like 30 some years older than her, and just, more powerful, he began to get really. At this point, she was already in it. She says that he was manipulative. He would threaten to choke her and slap her.
At the same time, Draskevich also questioned the wisdom of Sharpe being represented by an attorney who is not from the city. Generally, it's better to have homegrown counsel, he said. As has been reported ad nauseum, the unidentified woman named Jane Doe filed a $50 million lawsuit against the NFL Hall of Famer and ESPN personality for allegedly raping and assaulting her in November 2024 and again in January 2025. Sharpe vehemently and categorically denied his accuser's claims, saying online, "This is a shakedown. I'm going to defend myself because this isn't right."
TMZ has reported that Shannon Sharpe's lawyer did reveal that he did try to give this Jane Doe, and we're not saying her name even though they've said her name.
Yes.
At least $10 million during mediations that occurred within the last month or so.
And I will say she is stupid.
So she appeared to be thinking about it, and then suddenly, without warning.
Unfortunately for Sharpe, this assault lawsuit has besmirched his reputation, perhaps permanently, because the 57-year-old Sharpe vigorously pursued the woman who was 19 at the time they met at a Los Angeles gym. The legal documents contain salacious and cringeworthy testimony by the woman. Included is the assertion that Sharpe sodomized her when she begged him not to penetrate her anally. She also contends in the filings that he ordered her to digitally penetrate his anus during their encounters. Because the woman is accusing Sharpe of sordid and vile bedroom behavior, Disney and ESPN executives ordered Sharpe to go on an indefinite hiatus from the popular sports talk show First Take that stars Stephen A. Smith.
Now, this lawsuit is kind of interesting because this one, it says is a Jane Doe. Shannon already knows who the Jane Doe is because he knows who he was in a relationship with. This woman is his most recent relationship that Shannon was in. She's filing a lawsuit under the auspices of a Jane Doe, claiming not once but a couple of times over the period, and it became and all this.
He said at the time of the moratorium that he would return in time for NFL preseason, which begins in August, but some sports pundits believe his time at ESPN is over. Sharpe still operates his two popular podcasts, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap, the latter co-hosted by former NFL star Chad Ochocinco-Johnson, where Sharpe has ironically commented on the DIDN trafficking trial. The arrest comes nearly a month after he allegedly assaulted the mother of two of his 3 children on Father's Day outside of her home in Doral, according to an incident report by the Doral Police Department.
Nigga, where Derek at? I don't know. You don't like speak up, Frank. What that mean? Love limit. I don't like Florence, motherfucker. No, you don't. EJ, you the trash talk.
According to the report, Davis's ex-girlfriend told police she was involved in a verbal dispute with the boxer over personal matters and Gervonta having insecurities about the sexuality of their son. Davis had arrived at her residence at 5:04 p.m. ET on June 15th to pick up his children when the situation escalated. After putting both children in Davis's car, she alleged Davis punched her on the rear of her head with a closed fist and slapped her in the face. She was able to regain custody of her children, which upset Davis further, according to the report.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She said Davis revved the engine of his vehicle in a threatening manner, but she was able to remove herself from the situation without further incident. Afterward, she went to a local hospital for medical treatment. A note on the report suggested that there had been approximately 10 inches undocumented physical altercations between Davis and his ex-girlfriend. Davis was taken into custody in Miami Beach before being transported by the Doral Police Department. According to Miami-Dade County's inmate report, Davis was being held at Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center with a $10,000 bond, but has since been released. He has a court hearing slated July 29th. The star boxer has had numerous run-ins with the law over the years that included and multiple traffic offenses.
To Davis, jump into it, kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but, there's this mindset, the fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently he's going to fight Jake Paul, what?
He did, and that's fine. I went out of my way to troll him a little bit now. You want to fight? Come on. I mean, I ain't tripping. You ain't got to troll me. Come see me. That's who I am. I don't do talk well,
Have you heard anything from him or anybody in the camp?
No, I ain't heard nothing yet, but they know where I'm at, and they know how to find me.
You think there's a possibility, Roy?
His last run-in came in December 2022 when he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman with a closed-hand type slap. The charges were later dropped. Davis reportedly had been linked to a rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. in August after the two battled to a controversial majority draw in March. However, Premier Boxing Champions has yet to formally announce the fight. Fox Sports' Andy Slater was the first to report the matter, stating that the arrest was because Davis was accused of hitting his ex-girlfriend on the back of the head and slapping her. The victim reported that the defendant instructed her to remove the children from his vehicle, stating he no longer intended to take them. The report reads, while she was positioned at the rear passenger door and leaning forward to retrieve her daughter from the back seat, the defendant, positioned in the driver's seat, struck her in the back of the head.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick. Come on. I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. Everybody else come out. I'm not saying, man, but I hope that, he get that straightened out. And
Davis then allegedly proceeded to slap the ex on the right side of her face, resulting in a minor laceration to the inner area of her lip. The distressed and crying victim sent a text to her mother, who came outside and filmed part of the incident on her cell phone. The video showed Davis throwing a small box at the victim, says the affidavit. Davis left the scene, and the victim went to Baptist Health Hospital to receive medical attention, where she was first interviewed by cops. A probable cause message was entered into the FCIC and NCIC database requesting Davis's detainment should law enforcement come into contact with him.
And battery charges against his baby mother, who's the mother of two of his children, Vanessa Paso, I believe her name is. Now, I want to do this in a certain order because I think since people kind of stopped watching videos midway through, I'm going to put some of the most important points I want to make at the beginning.
A little after midnight on Friday, they did. The fighter was taken into custody on the 900 block of Lincoln Lane North by Miami Beach cops and transported to the Doral Police Department. When presented with a Miranda warning form, the Baltimore native refused to sign it, police say. This marks Davis's second domestic violence arrest in Florida, and it isn't the first run-in with the law for the WBA lightweight champion. On Feb 27, 2019, Davis had an arrest warrant issued for him in Virginia because of an alleged altercation with a man at an ATM. Tank allegedly shoved a police officer and was charged with 1 count of misdemeanor assault, but the case was dismissed that October, according to TMZ. Nearly 1 year later, he was charged with simple battery and domestic violence in Coral Gables, Florida on February 4th, 2020. The incident involved the mother of his daughter at the University of Miami, and a video showed him grabbing her by the neck and pulling her out of her seat, and they walked out of a charity basketball game. 2 days later, Davis turned himself into the Coral Gables Police Department.
90 days home detention by serving at a Four Seasons hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse rather than trainer Calvin Ford house as the judge agreed. This is the reason why Tank is not being jailed. Gervonta Davis' lawyer argued that the house was too small for security staff. Additionally, the judge...
Boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been arrested and charged with battery in South Florida. Police allege the Baltimore native
Thursday in Doral, Florida. Davis was arrested and booked by Miami Beach police, and a judge set his bond at $10,000. This is the latest.
Davis was held on a $1.5K bail and later denied the allegations on social media. The arrest affidavit alleged that Davis dragged the mother of his child into a separate room, and video surveillance showed he made a motion that was consistent with striking her in the face. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.